Ooh, I should probably make sure this actually works. Last live stream, apparently it wasn't on, so I had to delete that live stream because you couldn't hear 19% of it. Actually, it was more than that, but the point is... Yes, okay, we're good. Okay. So, anyone who's watching this currently, just a couple of, minutes ago, was going through a weird downward spiral. And I'm sitting there talking with my wife about this particular unmotivating thing I'm thinking about. And I'm just like, really, it's really getting on my nerves. And my wife just said, everything I was talking about, you really should put into a podcast. And so I thought, maybe I should do that. However, I don't really know where I would start with that, so I'm going to turn this on, go to do some random job, and I'm going to start talking about the motivational things that I was thinking about just a couple of minutes ago. And the thing was, I knew exactly what I was talking about before this video was even recorded. But the problem was, I don't really know how to talk when I'm on camera. Maybe that's my issue. I think too much about it. I try too hard, and that's my issue. So I'm sitting here trying to think, well, how could I make this potentially easier for me to talk about? Sometimes you just gotta press record. So here I am, pressing record. I'm gonna set my GPS location to this so I don't actually have to listen to the game playing music while I talk about my motivation here. Okay, so anyone who has ever had a dream, usually you have the reason you have the dream is because you're passionate about what you're talking about. And what I'm passionate about is, everyone knows, I like to entertain. Hang on a second, I need to select what I'm doing here. I need to go to that quick job again, because obviously I don't know where that quick job was supposed to be at. There it is. Now I can actually set that as a GPS destination. GPS destination set, quick travel. Okay, I can't quick travel there, can I? Do I really have to drive all the way there just to get that? It's down the street. I have plenty of things to talk about. I'll be fine. So, anyone who's ever had a dream knows dreams usually scare you. If you're dreaming big enough, it scares you at least. So at least my dreams have scared me. My dreams are to eventually become an inspiring YouTuber who can help people realize the things they want to do are accomplishable. You just gotta put your mind to it and all that BS. However, I'm sitting here thinking, what if you work 50 hours a week? What if you literally don't have a lot of time on your hands because you're working with people that have to work just as long as you do to pay the bills? That's my current situation, and I'm like, I don't want to be the guy that just complains about work all the time. I actually want to love what I'm doing. And I don't hate what I'm doing, but I will say, I would definitely be happier doing something else. I would love to wear a suit every day, as any of my viewers know. I love wearing suits. I love dressing up. I love cleaning myself up on the weekends. How the heck did all these diesels all of a sudden come up here? That's why it's nighttime. Here comes the city bus right now, about to cut me off. Stupid city bus. Anyways. So, with these 50-hour weeks I'm going through, I'm just like, I don't have time to really invest more than an hour a day, or less than that, into a YouTube channel. And I get it. Some people just go, well, you really gotta just man your time properly. I flat out told her, I'm tired of all those lectures, all the things, different things that people are gonna say. Well, you gotta put your mind to it. You gotta keep dreaming. You gotta dream bigger. It's not the point. The point is, I'm honestly tired of seeing some people not really lift a finger and they can make money. And I know there are people out there that do that kind of stuff. My biggest issue is, I'm tired of the government taking up half my paycheck just so that they can live a life of, I don't gotta lift a finger because I tell you what to do. I don't want to be told what to do anymore. I personally wouldn't mind running my own business. Not just any business. I want to run a suit chain. Call it Mr. Chrome. or call it Chrome something. Something with Chrome. And to me, everyone knows, well, what does Chrome mean to you? Chrome means sharp, it means professional, it means dressed up, it means ready to go. It means a lot of things. Abigail, hello, welcome to my stream. Hang on a second, I gotta reset my chat here because my chat looks a little funky. I'm not even sure who's watching. Okay, back to the American Truck Simulator. And now, of course, I've got to repair my truck. So I've gotten to a point where I'm like not exactly happy with where I'm at right now. So people are like, well, then get to where you're happy with. In the end, this whole conversation came down to me feeling like I don't feel like I had all the passion that I wanted. Yo, Chrome, Mad Brad, how's it going? Why is my chat log not updating? I can't see any of you guys. Like, it's not saying anyone's watching. Whatever. People can watch this later. So I'm sitting here going, I don't feel like I have the passion anymore. Actually, I do have the passion. Here's my issue. I seriously feel like some of us don't feel that passion for one reason. We're usually too tired to feel that passion. And that's what got me angry. I'm just like, well, why aren't people passionate anymore? Just during our little visit to Walmart, my wife and I are walking around and she's like, why don't you just record this stuff and talk to people about it on your YouTube streams? And so here I am. I'm going to tell you about passion. And quite frankly, this passion that I've got going has only has me scared because I'm wondering how many people actually want to listen to this kind of stuff. How many people actually want to hear me talking to myself in the hallways of Walmart or down the aisles of another Target store? And I realized something. No one really reacted to it. No one was actually watching me or listening to me singing randomly through the aisles of Walmart. And I just thought, what has happened to the passion of these people? Why does no one have a passion anymore? Why don't they have a dream anymore? Why is no one reacting to the world around them? And I get it, we're all focused on something. We've all got a kid or something, or we're all focused on a goal. And at the end of the day, I was like, maybe stop being so focused and look around you. And hello, my other people watching my stream. Maybe look at the fact that, okay, there's someone right here that's being kind of funny or talking, or it drives me crazy when I see people so numb. I feel like all I see is a bunch of people that are just trying to make a paycheck. I'm like, well, you'll make your paycheck, but there's nothing wrong with lifting your head up, looking around, and going, hey, this person is kind of funny. I was shocked. I felt like I was walking around Walmart with a bunch of zombies. And my wife even told me, and I love her to death, but she even told me, dude, burnout has killed my passion for anything here lately. And Mad Brad, I hear ya. That's why I'm here to simply tell people, stop feeling that way. I'm not even kidding you. I don't even know if I can focus enough on this game to play it. The only reason I'm playing it is because, well, I've got to be doing something while I'm trying to ignite passion. But holy cow, after a 50-hour week, I am so burned out. I'm like, well, what do I do now? I don't really feel like I have enough passion or enough energy to pursue this. And for the most part, I don't. But that's where I realize the problem lies. So why the heck are we working all this overtime and all these hours to pay our bills? Because the government told us we need to. We got bills to pay, we've got things to catch up on, we've got all these different things we're doing and what to show for it. Ay. Well, Mr. Chrome, you sound like you're a conspiracy theorist. Then call me a conspiracy theorist, but I'm tired and sick of all these people walking around like zombies. We're so much more capable than that. We all have a dream, we all have a passion. We all had something we wanted to do. For me, I don't want to work 50 hours anymore. I want to wear a suit all day long, a different suit all day long. I want to wear something nice. I want to clean myself up every weekend. I want to open up a suit chain and inspire more men to dress up nicely. I want to open up a better YMCA that can help motivate young men who never had a father figure to be men. There's a reason that the percentage of men these days kind of sucks. Most men don't want to pursue marriage or pursue a relationship because, quite frankly, we're terrified. Some men never had a man in their life, like a father, to tell them what being a man is like, what being a man requires. How do you inspire a young man to do that? You open up a YMCA full of a bunch of older men who have gone through the same crap they have, who can sympathize with them, who can connect with them, who can tell them what they're doing is worth it, what they're doing matters. And here I go again. I'm finally getting back to that passion I was talking about. Wake up, people. We are so much more capable than just a 40-hour-a-week job, and I get it. A lot of you have kids. A lot of you live in a place where it's just not happening. Well, guess what's not happening for me? I'm not getting half the followers I want to on YouTube. I don't know why. That's just the way it's working out for me. But tonight, I've decided to simply press record, and I started from working too many hours, and now I've decided, okay, where the heck did my passion come from in the first place? Well, I watched a clip for V from Vendetta because, quite frankly, the Rocky Balboa one is not working anymore, which is it's when Rocky Balboa, he's talking to his son about going out and getting what you're worth. And it's a moment in the movie where Rocky's going out again to do a match. He's doing a boxing match with this guy that everyone's like, is Rocky really going to do this? Does he really want to do this? Is he really going to make this happen? And his son's just like, do you realize how hard it is to live with you? And Rocky's like, what do you mean? He's like, and his son says, people look at me and they expect you, but I'm not you. I'm just me. And so I go through my entire life feeling like I need to live up to you. But I don't feel like I am. I always feel like they look at me and they want to see you. They expect you. They look at me and they want to see you. But I'm not you. I'm not a boxer. I'm not some guy that they're all looking at to... Oh, wait, Frank Market, here we go. I'm not some guy that they're all just gonna be, oh, this kid's gonna be somebody. Hang on a second. Let me get the cheapest job I can find here. Perfect. Let's take that job. I probably got to repair my truck now. Anyways, and so Rocky says, well, I never wanted to do that to you. I never wanted you to have to feel like you had to deal with me. And his son just says, well, I know that's not what you wanted, but that's just the way it is. Do you think that's fair? Do you? And there's a really long pause of silence from Rocky. And his father says, you're never going to believe this, but I used to be able to hold you right here. You know what I told your mother? And his son just rolls his eyes like, okay, here comes a motivational speech. And he says, this kid's going to be somebody. And you were. It was great. Watching you grow up every day was like a privilege. And one day you grew up to be your own man to take on the world, and you did great. You did wonderful things. But somewhere along the line, you let someone stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And that's when he says this motivation thing about life is not all puppies and rainbows. You of all people know that best. The world is a mean and nasty place, and it'll kick you down to the ground and stick you there if you let it. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits. And me or nobody is gonna be the fault except you. And he goes on and tells his son that it's no one else's fault but his own, that he's not where he wants to be in life. And I understood that. But here's what gets me annoyed. Well, you know, you're not the only one struggling. You're not the only one that doesn't want to work these jobs. I know I'm not, but the point is, no one has the passion anymore to ignite other passions in someone else, so we can unite as a community and grow and do something amazing. Spread a YouTube channel or help people realize, you know what? Let's motivate each other. Let's do something crazy. Let's all found a company. Let's go do something on the market. Let's do something other than accepting a 40-hour paycheck and just going through life day by day. And for what? What do we have to show for it? Ugh. I can't tell you how many brain-dead people I felt like I'd run into while I was at Walmart. And I just thought, well, why don't we try to inspire people? Some people aren't inspired enough, and quite frankly, it made me sad. I don't want to live in a world full of people who don't want to talk to you because, oh, I don't have enough time to talk to you, or I got too preoccupied, I got too distracted. I know why you're distracted. It's because you've been overstimulated. You've been watching media too much. You're so overwhelmed with the media you've been watching that you're not gonna go watch something else or go make your own content. When was the last time you watched a good movie? Maybe Avengers Endgame? Maybe The Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt. If you ever saw that, if you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you go watch that. But for crying out loud, this passion I just feel like is gone. And here is what I feel like is the problem. I am firmly convinced that we have been demanded so much of our time by our politicians and all these other people that want our attention that we forget about one thing. It's us they want the attention from. They're the ones that want our attention. We could literally cast our attention anywhere else, but I feel like we're so overstimulated by all the other videos that we're watching. And yes, I feel like maybe I'm overstimulated for one reason. I try to reach out to someone and they just go, oh, no, I'm good. I'm just going to sit here and play my game. Well, why not make your own game? Why not make your own video? Why not make a community full of more people like-minded like you? That's what I'm trying to get to. Why aren't we all coming together, opening our eyes, putting our devices down? Yeah, I get it. Your device can be used for a lot of really beautiful things. Quite frankly, I've used my device for a lot of really cool things. But the one thing I don't understand is why we're not trying harder. Why we're not trying to connect with each other and realize the only reason our politicians need us is because we give them the power. You know where I want to invest my power? I want to invest my power into helping people realize they don't need to continue doing what they're doing. Yes, I know it's all time and money, and it's all the things you don't have time to do. Well, guess what? I don't have 10 hours to invest in this YouTube channel. I have maybe this hour before I go to bed to actually look at something and play a game and talk about something funny. Like the fact that Joe Biden is responsible for all the gas prices, but no one believes me. Or the fact that the economy sucks right now because the government wants more money out of us and our paychecks and our taxes. And don't even get me started on that. I have so many political opinions that might make your head explode. But have you ever gotten to a point where you just go, oh, my head's going to explode because I have so many things I want to say, but I don't know how to lay them out on the line. And in the end, by the end of it, you only have 2 people watching you because you realize no one really cares. And why do we not care? Because we're so overstimulated by our day-to-day jobs and the next thing in line, the next fad in line, that we only have time to watch a 10-second TikTok video and maybe push the like on it. My friends, you're not just my viewers. You are my support system. You guys are the reason I make these videos. And however many people this reaches, I'm just hoping that there's still some passion left in you. Enough passion that you're not going to find yourself so overstimulated that you don't think you have time to watch something else or to open your mouth or to realize you were born to do something extraordinary. You're basically a fish being told to climb a tree. In high school, I was basically a kid with ADD who was diagnosed, well, you have a learning disorder. No, I don't have a learning disorder. I just learn a different way, but you're too full of yourself to realize that because you want to feel like a good teacher. Or your parents are so overstimulated that they just say, you know what, you need to get a job or you need to get a skill. You need to get something people can pay you for. I don't mind being paid to be a plumber, but for crying out loud, why can't I be passionate? Why can't I get paid to tell people to be passionate? Because I don't believe in being paid to be a friend. I believe I should be paid to bring a smile to your face, which is entertainment. And no, I do not think entertainment should be paid for. I personally don't think money is the answer to this. We don't need money, we need passion. We need to reignite what America used to be about, the melting pot, the country of dreams. And this has nothing to do with the politicians. I personally think the politicians all these entertainers, all these athletes that get overpaid to do nothing. Oh, well, they get paid. They work their hearts out. Okay, well, maybe I can get paid to lift a couple of weights. Maybe I could get paid to have a gorgeous body and stand there and look pretty. It's so much harder than you think it is. I get it. I get it that being an actor is so hard. Being an athlete is so hard. Being a politician is so exhausting. I will tell you right now, I will take that job over the mediocre job I have right now. I am literally building America. I have seen so many tradesmen try to make ends meet simply because they can't keep up with the taxes. And you know what else I see? I see a whole lot of politicians, a whole lot of celebrities, and a whole lot of athletes that we worship like gods take home a gigantic paycheck simply because their life is so hard. I don't buy it for a second. If you think I should start a podcast, I want to hear about it. If you think Mr. Chrome has some interesting insights, I want to hear about it. If you want your insights on a podcast, let me know. I have the ability to put you on here with the software I use. I can help your voice be heard. I can start a podcast. I have a tiny house that we could all meet at if we really wanted to. But I am so tired of walking around seeing everyone so glazed over because we're so overstimulated by our society that is taking advantage of us. And my wife feels the same way. She's getting tired of seeing me go through these up and down spirals, trying to figure out what she can do for me. In the end, there's nothing she can do. She does not have the strength or the willpower that I have to make it through a day of plumbing. And no, I don't have the worst life in the world. But my problem is, I am seeing so many people who don't have passion because they don't have time to have it. Because you're so overstimulated. You almost don't have time to even breathe. Or as a plumber, you don't have time to take a poop. Brad, I would have loved to see you on a podcast. I even had a friend tell me maybe I should talk about Biden or the politics of today. Or gas prices. And the fact that, well, it's supply and demand. I don't buy that. It is not just supply and demand. Ugh. I have a lot of things I want to do, including finding a successful YouTube channel. If I ever get to become Mr. Chrome, I want to inspire others to do the same thing. In fact, I would want them to do something better than me. I stopped playing this game because I finally realized what I wanted to talk about. I might not even finish what I'm doing. Or maybe I will. But my point is, I'm sad. I'm heartbroken because I have so much I want to give to the world and so much passion. And if people make fun of me for it, then go ahead, make fun of me for it. At least I'm actually trying. I'm not sitting there and complaining about my life. I'm trying to tell people we can change it. I'll tell you right now, if I was making six figures, I'd be set. And I'd probably see if I could help you make some six figures. Figure out how it works. Find out what to do. Stop being a slave to the politicians. Stop worshiping athletes that don't give a damn about you. Stop caring about celebrities who really don't care. There are very few celebrities and wealthy people I've seen care. And I've realized some of the wealthy people don't care because I have seen some poor people who don't want to put in the time or money to invest in themselves. Yes, I have heard the stories of wealthy people taking care of poor people, but it never works out. Everyone says wealthy people don't earn money. No, they do earn money. I don't know, guys. I'm tired of seeing all these people who have passion and they don't pursue it. They let their paycheck get in the way, or they just go, well, I'm fine with the life I have here. Well, if you're fine with that life, then go to it. But don't let that stop. Don't stop me from trying to ignite someone next to you. Well, then who are you to inspire me? I'm not trying to inspire you. I'm trying to tell you, you're more than just a truck driver. You're more than just a paycheck. And anyone who tells you differently, maybe you should look at what they're doing at night. What are they going home to? What kind of family do they have back at home? And why are they not motivated anymore to do anything like this? Why are we not talking to each other anymore? Why don't we share our dreams, our passions, talk about our families, talk about why we want to wear suits all day, talk about why we would be fine retiring to a cabin in the woods and never having to deal with humanity again? I'll tell you why. Because people are starting to really suck these days. But it's not because of the world. It's because of all the stimulation we've been going through. It's because of all the demanding things of our life are coming down to a point where we're just like, just give me my paycheck and let me go home. I don't want to go home anymore. I like being here, yes. But for crying out loud, I don't want to be the only passionate person in the room. I want to hear about other people's dreams and passions and the reasons why you wake up in the morning. I want to know what gives you so much energy that you can't sleep at night. Right now, I was so motivated. I was like, okay, I'm motivated now. Let's go to bed. My wife looked at me and she's like, I'm not ready to go to bed. I'm like, it's 9 o'clock though. Let's just go upstairs and watch Vampire Diaries. And she's like, but I'm not ready to. And then I thought maybe I'll just get on and record some random live stream of me motivating someone. And she said, do it. And then I said, but when I turn on the camera, suddenly I don't know what to talk about. And then she said, you're trying too hard. So I decided to press record. And now here we are. Possibly 30 minutes later. 30 minutes later, and for what? Because I, Mr. Chrome, am tired of walking through the aisles of Walmart, seeing all these glazed over faces, seeing people that, when I say hi to them, they just look at me. What? Did you talk to me? Yes, I'm talking to you. You're a human being. I was trying to get a response out of you. And here's my first customer. Mad Brad.
Hello.
Hey, welcome to the podcast.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Well, it'll be a little bit delayed on my stream, but...
Yeah, I was listening to it, and you're completely right about all of it.
Yeah.
What gets me is that more of it is from, I think, is telephones, and you get off work, and you go straight home, and then you have entertainment to watch all night, just for the time being till you go to bed.
Exactly.
I mean, the phones track you. They know what you like. They know what you don't like. It's all almost like part of the plan.
It's all stimulated. Like, my wife and I were watching Vampire Diaries, but I can only watch maybe 1 or 2 episodes before I need to go do something else.
Right. Pretty much. I mean,
and I'm tired of it too. Like, I actually tried to watch an old movie called Tomb Raider, Cradle of Life, and I turned it off. I'm like, this is stupid. It's the same gun shooting, action packed. Like, it actually almost, now that I've seen it so many times and everything's coming out digitally, there's all these different stunts going on. I'm like, this movie's kind of stupid. I turned it off because of how boring things were getting.
Yep.
And I'm not even saying the quality of movies is going down, but I'm like, we're so overstimulated and so like, oh, the next actor or the next movie or the next thing. I'm like, what's the point? This movie isn't even fun anymore. I don't even want to watch it anymore. Like, I could barely watch Vampire Diaries because I'm sitting there. I'm just like, so how hard is it for these Hollywood people to really be up there? Is it really that difficult? I was like, and I even talked about The Matrix. I'm like, in The Matrix, there was a documentary I watched about it, and one of the actors was like, The Matrix was so hard to film for one reason. During that time, they made us work out constantly. We were on a strict diet. We had to consistently be on top of what we were doing. Our bodies had to look perfect. And maybe one day a month, they would let us do whatever we wanted. But then at the end of that month, the next morning, we were right back to a healthy diet. We were just health all the time, work out, jog, just stay in shape. And he was just like, it was not easy. And I'm just like, I will gladly take your job over what I'm doing right now. Gladly.
Right.
You think that's so hard? Try becoming a robot. Sit down, do what you're told, believe the lie. It's not a lie. I love my company. I love my plumbing company. Granted, I don't know if I'm very good at plumbing. I might be a little slow, but that's the point. I'm like, if you're not good at something, then go find something else to do.
Right.
But I'm like,
Same
I
way.
don't know where I could go that I could get paid the amount I'm getting paid right now, which is why I like my company so much. But in the end, I'm like, why are we watching these people make money off of us?
Yep. People are brainless at this point.
It is, and it's honestly scared me. Like at Walmart tonight, I was singing some Christmas songs, and my wife was just telling me that she kind of listens to me, kind of doesn't. But and I didn't even blame her for that. But it was just I was so bewildered that I was like, I could probably sing out loud or do something funny, and no one would notice. The people that
Yep.
do notice are probably the ones that have open ears. But I'm like, how many of these people would actually notice what I'm talking about or what I'm doing here?
Yep. And no one would, because it's literally they're stuck on one thing, whatever their phone is going to say.
Or they're
Just-
caught up with the 2 kids that they've got. And I get it. We're all busy with our families, but I'm like, why let why let your kids or your obligations, why let that devour your mental health?
Exactly.
I'm like, if your kid's getting on you, you just gotta say, hey, I love you and I am your parent, but give me just a couple of minutes to recover. And like, if they're a newborn, you can't do that because they're a newborn. But I'm like, if your toddler's saying, I need this or I need that, I'm like, then tell them to get it themselves. If they can't get it themselves, say, okay, give me a couple of minutes and I will get it for you. I'm like, they'll understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just like, I feel like we're all slaves to overstimulation and the demanding life that we have. And I'm like, if your head is hurting so badly, maybe take care of it.
Yep. Pretty much.
Well, I
And-
can't take care of it. I don't have time to take care of it. I'm like, I have time to take care of this right now. I have time to do a podcast. I just have my boy Brad call me up on Discord, and I'm just like, look at that, my first customer. You're on
See,
my
I-
podcast right now.
Yeah, I know. And it's been a long time since I talked to you. Once I sold the computer. But going back to the social media and everything, I've been off over 2 months, and I have seen things that I've never noticed. You know what I mean?
Because they're no longer overstimulated.
Exactly. And I love it. Like, I notice things. I'm more into stuff. But then you hop over to the job part at work. I'm hating going to work. I used to love it, but everyone there is overstimulated. They don't care. There's no passion from other people. And that's where I see the biggest problem is this other people.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I love doing electrical work, but anybody else around me doesn't understand that, hey, there's an actual job to do, take care of it, and make it look right. Instead of they just ruin it. I mean, they take less pride in their work. They don't care. They're there for a paycheck, is what I'm saying.
Some people aren't, and some people are okay with this kind of life. And I'm like, then let them be okay with that kind of life. But for me,
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to inspire people to do a little bit more than that. I want
Right.
to I'm like, look, I get it. If you like your job, you like your job. But I'm like, I don't think I like being dirty anymore. I like being clean shaved. I want to wake up in the morning, put a suit on, give my wife a kiss goodbye, and say, I'll be back after my seminar. I want to inspire some people to realize, look, you probably have some skills or people skills that others don't. And I get it. There's the trade people that are okay with being a trade person. There's plumbers that are okay with being plumbers. But I fully realized I wasn't brainwashed into just working hard and working my life away and doing all the sweaty work. That
Yeah.
does pay the bills. And without a doubt, most millionaires will say, get a job you don't like that will pay bills until you can find something that you really like that eventually can pay your bills. I think I'm at that stage in life. I have the money I need to pay my bills. What I'm trying to find is why people are no longer passionate or why they no longer have the motivation to pursue their passion, which may be anything.
Yep.
I mean,
It's-
so many. I have so many friends saying, "Well, you know, I was passionate about this one time. I was gonna do this, but then I decided not to." I'm like, "Why'd you stop?" I get it. You have money. I'm like, you need money and time. Then go get that money and time. Earn what you need to pay your bills, but never forget you have passions. You're a human being.
Yeah. And then also, don't waste your time. That's the
Exactly.
biggest. You only have so much time. I mean, do what you're going to enjoy before you just lose it all. I mean, no one seems to understand that. You're not here
Exactly.
for forever. You're going to die at one point. Why waste your life not caring about your family or anything else, working your life away? Then you, on your deathbed, ready to go, and you realize everything you've lost. All because of overstimulation on the phones, working dead-end job.
And I simply say, if you like social media that much and you don't mind being overstimulated, then go for it. But I'm like,
Yeah.
there's got to be hundreds of thousands of people that I could talk to right now that are probably thinking the same thing. I want to find them. I want to seek them out and find out what makes them tick. Well, what do you mean makes me tick? I'm going to say, okay, right now, what would you do right now if you did not have to go to work? I'd probably sleep in. Then what? Sleep more? No, you wouldn't. What would you do? What would you think? Stop learning and start thinking. Start imagining, start creating. What is going on in your mind right now that you know you would do if you had the money? Well, if I had the money, I would never work again. What would you do though? What would you do with them not never having to work again? I'd pursue a hobby. What kind of hobby is that? There we go. There's the passion. Ignite that passion. Find a way to make a living off of it. That's what you got. That's what people don't realize. If you did not have to work anymore because you had all the money you needed, what would you do? I'd find something I enjoy doing. Right now, I enjoy wearing suits. On my days off, I'd probably go ride a motorcycle, or I'd probably go do some archery. Heck, I might even go show people how to wear a trench coat. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, here lately, just on my days off, I've gotten into woodworking. I mean, I'm trying to learn other things, so I'm not just, worthless. So
There you go.
if someone asks me for help, I can help them. That's what I want to get to. I want to be able to have knowledge and know that I can help somebody when they need help. Whether it be wiring up a house like I'm about to do next week, or woodworking, or anything. I can just be like, hey, and I can teach it, If I was to quit work right now, I'd go find a school to teach me all that I can get, everything I can learn. I might not be good at all of it, but I would have the knowledge, which is not what people want anymore, I guess.
People don't want knowledge. They don't even want an easy way out. What people want is
to scroll
ease.
through fucking TikTok.
What people want is ease. They want ease. People will trade anything for ease. It might be crap, but it's convenient. Exactly. Where's that line from? Anyone who knows where that line from, I want to hear about it in the comments. If you can't guess it, then you're SOL. But I'm not going to tell you where that line's from. But my wife and I love that line. And it's actually the one of the main characters in that movie is actually talking to the villain, and she's like, well, if my brother ran the world, he would be able to sell the cure to cancer as a foot massager or something like that. And she says, well, what about you? What do you want to do? And she's like, I don't know what I want to do. And she's like, well, what do you think people want? And she goes, ease. People will trade anything for ease. It may be crap, but hey, it's convenient. And that was the key. People want things easy. And I'm like, I don't want things easy. I want to know what people are passionate about. And for one reason, I'm tired of living in a dead world.
Exactly. But hey, it's super easy to get online and just scroll through TikTok for
it's
hours.
So easy to do that.
And waste your time.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting on some podcasts with some of these other YouTubers and TikTokers and just ask them why they do what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm wondering, I'm like, well, I get it, you're a TikToker and like you have it's really hard to do all this. It's hard to get on your podcast and stuff, but I'm like, anyone who says that, I will flat out say, all right, how about you and I switch lives for a couple of days? Then we'll see who has the harder life.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, all these people are like, well, you at least you have a job, at least you have this. I'm like, okay, so say we trade lives for a few days. Then we'll see what's life you want to deal with more.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that the people who are homeless are having it harder than me. I'm simply saying, if you're not thinking about something, then you're just looking at something. You're being stimulated. You're being programmed. And it's not that you're part of the system. It's the fact that you're not thinking about your own dreams and your own passions for one reason. You've been so overly focused on what you need to get that you're no longer focused on what you want. And that's the problem.
Not only that, but Instagram, Facebook, all of that, and you're looking and you're following these people, and you're looking at their life, and then you're looking at yours, and it ruins you.
It
will ruin
does.
you.
You know what ruined me earlier tonight?
Up,
I had to press ignore channel because I saw another Mr. Beast channel video pop up. He posted it 3 days ago. It has 100 million views already. It broke me, and I'm like, I can't watch this anymore because I'm like, I don't want to watch this guy anymore. It hurts me to see that he's doing whatever he wants, he does whatever he wants every day, and I'm stuck here. Like, I had to say, please don't recommend Mr. Beast to me. I have absolute respect for him. But it annoyed me because I'm like, I want to do whatever I want to do.
Yep.
And Samantha Miller right now in my chat just said, it's sad that people don't know what they want and have others to tell them what they want. They are all like puppets. And I agree with her. I completely agree with her.
It's completely true.
And right now, you're the first two that have tuning into my first podcast. Maybe I should make this a daily thing. And I'm like, I don't mind doing a podcast, but I'm like, I love playing games. I like doing stupid things on games. But quite frankly, some people I think are too overstimulated. They're like, well, I want to do this first. I'm like, no, you don't want to do that first. You're used to doing that first. You're used to watching something else. You're not used to change. You're not used to opening your eyes to something new or different. You're so used to watching Jacksepticeye or Mr. Beast or some other big YouTuber that you're not ready to make a change. And I'm not saying I'm jealous of them. I'm saying I'm a little bit upset because I am still not doing what I want to do because all these other people already have your attention.
Yep.
And right now, I finally got two people's attention. Well, that's the step. That's what we got to do. If you keep tuning in, I'll tell you right now, if I start making 6 figures off of this, I would definitely share that wealth a little bit. Absolutely.
I mean, it's almost like, I don't know how to say it.
Just think it through. We can do this.
You have your top of the line people that everybody likes. And it's almost like I've watched you on YouTube for a while. I mean, since we've been playing Grand Theft Auto.
Uh-huh.
And it's like YouTube doesn't recommend any of these smaller channels that are starting out
because they don't make money.
Yes, exactly. It's a money scheme, I think. If they can't make money off of it, then they're not going to recommend it.
Well, and that's why 10 years ago when PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye and Mr. Beast were all starting out, YouTube wasn't that big. So they started gaming channels. The only reason why they're so big right now is because YouTube's been pushing them for years. Now all these newer channels that come on and are doing things that they like doing, I'm actually enjoying sitting here having a conversation. But the fact is, I didn't get big enough faster because I'm still new. YouTube's not going to push me out there. So what do people say? Well, you get the YouTube algorithm has to recommend you. You need it, your content needs to be better. I don't agree with that. I personally think these YouTube people that are giving advice don't know what they're talking about. I think YouTube recommends them because that's what it's been doing for years.
They're giving the advice that's wrote on the paper that they were given.
Exactly. And that's why I'm trying to tell people, I'm like, how about press record? How about tell people about your channel? Well, that's not the organic way to grow. I'm like, that's pretty damn organic if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way.
Just people like, well, what about natural discovery? I'm like, I've got news for you. YouTube's too big for that now. You've got to tell people you're here. You've got to make your voice heard. People need to know about your video or you're never going to get out there.
Yeah, that's
I mean, I had people on one of my servers who said, oh, Mr. Chrome's he's so pathetic, he needs to ask for views. I'm like, I'm not that pathetic, actually. I have people tell me all the time, I'm pretty entertaining. Whether they watch my video for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, whether they watch this podcast for a couple of minutes, it's whatever. If you are wondering, I'm still here. Yes, Abigail, I know you're still here. Thank you for telling me. Abigail's one of my friend's little sisters, so she's like a little sister to me. But these people that keep saying, well, if the algorithm wants me to get views, I'll get views. I'm like, nope. YouTube does not care about you. If you're too small, they will not push your videos, period. It's gotten to a point where you need to make yourself known. And once you get known, you need to shine. That is where you really need to pull out your personality, realize, okay, well, what can I do? And when people ask me all the time, they're like, well, Mr. Chrome, how'd you get so good at talking to people? I opened my mouth.
Yep.
And when they start laughing, well, my wife has anxiety about driving, and she always wonders how I got to where I went. And I tell her all the time, I'm like, honey, it's the same way that you got so good at folding laundry or so good with kids. How much time did she spend with kids when she was a little girl? A lot of time. How much time did I spend the last couple of months on YouTube trying to get confident in front of a camera, trying to be okay looking at a camera and realizing what I need to talk about? Guys, this took months to get into. You don't realize you don't get good at doing something without doing it a whole bunch. Quite frankly, I think my plumbing career, I could be a lot better, but it's also 50-50. There's the 50% of passion. The other 50% is, do you care? Oh, wait, that's all passion. Never mind. The point is, if you're not passionate about it enough, you're not going to care enough.
Yep.
Ugh.
I see it every day.
And I'm starting to see it every minute of my life. I was so sad to see all these people so stimulated, and they're like, well, I've got too many things to worry about. I'm like, then take a break from some of them. Maybe say no to someone sometime and say, actually, I'm going to go home and do something I want to do. Well, now you got a society of selfish people. No, you don't. You've got a society of healthy people who have helped themselves to a point where they go, you know what? I spent the last week helping myself. What can I do for you?
Mm-hmm.
You can't help someone who's already broken. If you're broken yourself, let's just look at this way. It's in the Bible. If the line leadeth the blind, both shall fall into the pit. In other words, if two mentally unstable people try to help each other, you're going to have a fire in your hands.
Correct. Yep.
And if you're not mentally ready to help someone else mentally, you will fail.
Yep. That's correct.
Anyways, I'm just trying to ignite more passion and tell people, look, obviously my gaming stuff isn't taking off like I want it to. Some of it is. I got over 100 views on my Poppy Playtime, but that's because that was a very popular game. I'm not trying to entertain people. I'm trying to inspire people to do something more than what they're doing now. And what they're doing now, I don't think is passionate enough because, quite frankly, they all look dead to me. They look all glazed over. I look at my wife sometimes, and she's just naturally quiet, so I give her well, mainly because she's my wife. I don't really say mean things to her that way. But my point is, I'm tired of seeing people go, what? Were you talking to me? Yeah, I was. What are you doing this weekend? I don't know. Oh, you do know. You just haven't given yourself the opportunity to think about it because you're too overstimulated by everything else.
Yep.
Oh. And now I feel like I've overstimulated myself with talking. This is the point where I need more people in my podcasts. Ugh.
Yeah. I wish you could get some more, but like we've talked, that guy in California that we talked to, I don't know if you remember this, about the whole Corona thing. This was months ago, maybe a year ago. If we could get him back, that would be fun. Like
the California guy about Corona. I'm trying to remember.
This was a while back.
Yeah. Well,
it's more of you
hey,
can
Josh
find.
Briarhart. Okay. So Josh Briarhart, if I remember correctly, he actually has a channel that he talks about ghost hunting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's probably wondering what this is all about. If he rewinds it, you'll see it. But Josh, I'm basically talking about how earlier today I was walking through Walmart and I just saw how overstimulated people were. Like everyone looked like they were glazed over. I started singing while I was in the aisles while my paranormal stuff. There he is. So he talks about like paranormal stuff. But I was sitting here singing songs and I noticed nobody really cared. No one noticed. And my wife, she was doing her own thing, so I didn't really care about what she was doing, but we were there just shopping around. But it almost scared me how glazed over and how unattentive everyone seemed to be. And I was like, where's everyone's passion? Are you not happy to be alive? Are you not happy to be pursuing something? And it made me wonder, are we all too stimulated by social media and all too overworked to even care about pursuing a dream. Like right now, you're pursuing your YouTube channel of investigating the paranormal because you're passionate about it. I'm like, well, where the heck is everyone else's passion? Why are we not seeing more people pursue passion like that and talk about it? Ugh. And right now, I think Josh wouldn't mind coming onto my podcast here and joining our Discord. Unfortunately, he does not have my Discord information. If we can, we'll exchange later. But I'm just so tired of people being so mediocre and not wanting more out of life. I understand everyone wants a family and kids and all that white picket fence life. But for me, I'm like, well, what are your passions? What do you mean, what are my passions? Okay, put your phone down and listen to this one question. If money was not an issue, hold on, I'm gonna make a TikTok, but I will be here. Okay, so my little friend Abigail is gonna make a TikTok. Cool, TikTok is another good passion. But what would you do if you woke up on a random morning, you had nothing to do, money was no obligation, and you could do whatever you wanted? People don't want to fail, and chasing a dream can lead to failing.
Because they're afraid to fail.
They're completely afraid to fail. But I'm like, well,
it's part of life. You have to.
If people were afraid to fail, where would we have? Would we have Walt Disney? Would we have movies? Would we have people like Mr. Beast? Like, you know what I've been doing? Failing quite a bit because no one's following my podcast or my YouTube channel right now. And I'm to the point where I'm like, so we're not following stuff because we're already in sync with what we're doing. There's already people popular enough out there. We don't want to listen to new ideas. We don't want to see new people. We don't want to see a Mr. Chrome take off. Well, I'll tell you right now, if I ever take off, I will be giving back to my community. PewDiePie himself, Mr. Beast, Jacksepticeye, they literally talk all the time about where they came from. Some of these guys came from very poor areas. I'm coming from a very mediocre, just your everyday average Joe plumber. But I don't want to be that anymore. I feel like I want to wear suits all day if I want to. I want to run a suit company. I want to play games for fun. I want to do funny things on videos. I want to open up a better YMCA and inspire our young men to do the same thing. And for crying out loud, I don't want to be glazed over anymore and overstimulated to a point where I don't see someone else. Ugh.
That's correct. And if only you could see the YMCA around here.
Oh, you showed me and it made me sick.
Yeah. It's disgusting. It's terrible.
I personally believe that a lot of society is falling right now because we don't have enough passionate men. Everyone starts small. It takes a lot of passion and a lot of drive to overcome the difficulties in life. It's true. And I think the biggest problem with that is we don't know. Some people don't have that passion anymore. We're all just either too scared or we don't care enough to pursue a dream. Some people don't have dreams, but I'm like, okay, what would you do if you woke up on a Saturday morning, no money, your money was not an issue, you could do whatever you wanted because you're rich? Well, if I was rich, I'd be doing this and that. There's your passion. Your passion is what you would do if money was not an obligation and you had an entire day to yourself. That is your passion. And I honestly want to get more people on these kind of videos to hear what they have to say about it. I would love to chat with you about growth on YouTube, putting dreams in podcasts sometimes, but that would be a good chat for sure. And there we go. I've got my next client. It's all free, guys. This is all free. I would love to see anyone come on here. If they want their voice to be heard, awesome. But if you're just the quiet type, if you want to just sit back, relax, and watch these and absorb it as it happens, go for it. But eventually, I would not mind hearing about what makes you passionate. What would you do if money was not an obligation and you had an entire day to do whatever you wanted? Anyone else have anything they want to say to wrap this up?
About all I got. You hit the nail on the head.
Well, this definitely took a different turn. I only popped a game on here because people are used to watching me play games, but I really want to show people I'm tired of this. I want more passion. I think that kind of content gets a lot more people tuning in. And it just might. I need to find things to talk about, though, rather than just gaming. Gaming's fun. I would sing and dance. Abigail Miller, my little sister, I would sing and dance. I love singing and I love dancing. All of it. Seriously, people get paid to sing and dance all the time. Look how many actresses do that and actors do that all the time. All the time. Abigail Miller would sing and dance. Josh Briarhart, I guarantee you, he would probably pursue something with the paranormal. Brad, so far, he's working on woodworking and he's loving it. I just jumped on YouTube and saw that you were chatting about motivation, so wanted to see what was up. Well, thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the support I just got tonight. Ugh. More of this is to come, though. I'm tired of just people not being passionate, and I think tonight finally got to me. I want to see what makes people tick. What is your passion? What gets you up in the morning? Well, it's definitely not your part-time job. I get it. You got your family, you've got your wife and kids, and you've got your other hobbies you're doing. But what would you do if money was not an issue and you had an entire day or an entire week or an entire month to do anything you wanted? Thank you for tuning into this podcast. Somewhat of a podcast. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. I look forward to hearing from anyone who wants their voice heard. This is Mr. Chrome, signing off.